I was trying to get a feel for. I had this feeling when I woke up today. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just present, and I couldn't figure out what it was and where I felt it before. And it was almost like when I was a kid and the carnival left the town. Right? It was such a big week and a big weekend for us. It was such a roller coaster. You remember I told you I woke up and I just had this clarity in the middle of the week, and I just felt great for the rest of the week. And then yesterday, just on pins and needles, watching Carter race and watching the horses do so well, especially coming off watching Kings County and winning races with some of our horses. It was a great week. And it's not, I don't mean to come on and say, oh, we had a great week at the stable. It was a great week. And I woke up today and I had that feeling, and it dawned on me, it was the same feeling I got when the exhibition left Charlottetown. And it was just, I think it was just me mentally coming down from such a cool week. Aside from all the racing, I was baffled. We unveiled all those buckets and they virtually all sold out. I'm always humbled when everybody wants to do business with us, when everybody is actively looking to participate with the stable for whatever reason. But to have so many people jump in, and then not only that, but people say, hey, I was left out. We are going to have another bucket for Kentucky. We are. And this one, we're going to do it a little more old school. I know that there's some people that want in. Those people are going to be in. We're going to put all the other shares up for everybody. Now, this will be one horse. I suspect somewhere between 75 and 110,000 at Lexington. A quality animal. And it was so great to hear people. I've always told people that, and this is not a dig on Ontario at all, but I felt that the horses in Ontario were overpriced, right? And what I hear a lot from people in Ontario is they say, oh, I don't want to go across the border and pay 30%, yet they'll stay here and bid against each other, and virtually, in my humble opinion, pay up to 60% more for the horse because of that. So I'm not going to exclude Ontario from that bucket. I'm not going to say, oh, we're only buying a horse in jurisdiction X. I know a lot of people, I'm well aware that a lot of people don't really like New York and New Jersey, and quite frankly, with the cumbersome bureaucracy that goes with licensing, I don't blame you, and I'm with you. But looking at the way New Jersey is coming back, the way that Kentucky is, I'm obviously going to lean potentially towards them, but I'm going to do the best I can for the stable. I'm going to try and buy us, always try and buy us the horses with the most value, most bang for our buck. So again, thank you so much for everybody that reached out. Obviously, we're going to start working a little harder on the Ohio buckets. I know this year we only have Swinging Senorita. What a Mission's pretty good. We had a couple of horses that haven't turned out yet that I'm sure will show up before the fall. So it's been dwarfed, though. When you look at even Ontario, Nothing But a Dreamer's been great for us. We've had a number of horses do well almost everywhere. And then Pennsylvania's been so exciting. It's been such a long time. Been since really Lawmaker. Who? Tiger, yes. He was after him. I mean, I always drift towards Lawmaker because he was our first kind of big horse. And White Tiger obviously set a world record for us. Did very, very good at it too. He's done well for us his whole life. A little frustrating sometimes, but he's done well for us his whole life. So this was the first year since, well, how old's White Tiger now?
6.
He's 6 now, so it's been 4 years since we had talent. Now we have, now we have a ton of talent. Carter Michael Deal, we'll talk about him in a minute, how good he was yesterday, and you don't even know, some of you may not even know how good he was yesterday. We haven't seen even remotely the best. You got a glimpse his first start of Spitfire Overseas, but you haven't seen his best forward, so to speak. And then you got the horses in the Stallion Series. Listen, Austral Hanover made a good account of himself in the sire stake when we put him in there. Don't think the Tailgate Buzz can't do the same, because he can. It's a little bumpy. we got a number of quality animals. And then, I don't know if you were watching the Meadows the other day, but New Jersey's starting to come to life. Tactical Mounds is coming around nicely. I had a great conversation with Greg the other day, a gentleman who owns a big piece of that filly. And, we always start to look at, is she as good as we hope? And I said, I think she's coming along better. Here's a filly that was a little hot and crazy, now is behaving herself. She's good at the gate. She's good in the mile. I think the rest of it will come. She's always had talent. Brace for Landing Strip. How good were those horses? We're going to start talking about the Wellwood very soon. I just had a very brief conversation with Ron Burke over text messaging because Carter Michael Dio doesn't really have any PA points. He has Stallion Series. His Stallion Series win. Do we focus on that with him? Because we do have Crantini and we do have Spitfire, who I think is going to come forward in a big way. But I mean, if we bring Carter Michael Dio to the Poconos on Sunday and he wins Pennsylvania Sires, all of a sudden he's in the mix. So a lot of questions swirling around with our horses. But the reason these questions are swirling is because we have good horses. We've been very, very lucky. And, sometimes even I catch myself waking up and taking it all for granted. Then you look at other people race their horses. They don't have Carter Michael Dio, Spitfire overseas. They don't have Crantini or even Austral. And then even Fashion Presidente raced fantastic the other night. We're loaded in Pennsylvania with trotting colts. We've been very, very fortunate. So these questions are there. Where do we go? What paths are available for Carter? What's going on there? We can go to the Wellwood, which means he would race Sunday in the Pennsylvania Sires, then back in the Wellwood. He could go to Kentucky. I believe he's eligible to Champlain. There's a number of paths, but we need to have one that all the dots kind of line up. And Carter Michael Dio, for many of you that don't know this, is going on Lasix. That's right. You're right. No, but that's Grand Circuit. I don't know. Is it all Kentucky?
No, it's their states.
I think you're right. No, Amy's right. That's right. So he won't be going to Kentucky. No Lasix in Kentucky. And that's a discussion for another day. I kicked that can down the road yesterday, and I'm going to continue to. Yes, it's taboo for a lot of people, but if you think that there's a couple of horses that we only have a couple of babies that are bleeding and nobody else's are, you're wrong. Just everybody else is scrambling to mitigate it in a different way. I'd like to hit it head on. We have a medication that we can use that is perfectly legal, and it 100% helps. That's the way we're going to go. It seems logical to me. So, that Carter Michael Dio discussion is taking place. And then after the trip that Landing Strip and Brace for Landing went, what direction do we go with them? Well, I think I figured that out. We can go to, I didn't realize we were getting to the border so quick.
Yeah, I wondered why you started a video.
Thanks. Maybe next time you could chime in, you know what I mean? Give me a little heads up. Brace for Landing Strip will likely go to the Wellwood. I think they both deserved it. And, it's funny because I said that the other day, and even Amy and some people are like, really? You think they're good enough to go to the Wellwood? It's like you think you have to win a sire stake to be eligible to the Wellwood. The horses just have to be ready to go, and these horses are ready and eligible to stakes all throughout the fall into the late part of fall. Brace for Landing is peaking perfectly, and he hasn't even peaked yet. I'm not saying that he's going to go win the Wellwood, but I think he needs to be in that type of competition. Clearly fast enough. You guys don't even know this. He won at 56-1 the other day in scope with mucus in it. A little bit of allergy mucus, which we can mitigate somewhat, but some other mucus too. So here's a horse that, 2 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5 for mucus, and still won a commanding victory in 56-1. And the other horse had a little bit of mucus also and had an ulcer on his palate. He finished second in 56-1. Both colts look great. So very, very happy with the way things are turning out for those two horses in particular. So again, new paths start to emerge for other horses like those two. Who else do we have? I'm just getting my Nexus card. We have, who else on our list there?
So you're not bus.
Yeah, I know I'm not bus. Thank you. I'll get in the car lane. Okay, I appreciate that. Who else do we have that could go to the Wellwood? We have Braceford Landing Strip, Carter Michael Dio. Now, Crantini isn't paid into the Wellwood, and people say, oh my God, how is he not? If you guys remember when the second and third payment was needed for the Wellwood, that was right in the middle of Crantini's hissy fits, where he wouldn't trot, and he was leaping and throwing himself. And every year at that time, money's tight, and we're always having a dialogue with our clients saying, is this horse really a horse that needs to go to the Wellwood? Last two payments are pretty pricey, and we decided not to, which is fine. That will bode well for him heading into the rest of the... He is eligible to a race in Kentucky. He is eligible to the Champlain. We do still have a spot for the Mohawk Millions, and he is most definitely still eligible to the Breeders' Crown. Who else is on your list there?
Dreamer.
Nothing but a Dreamer? Somebody said to me the other day, well, he's only raced in the grassroots. You sure you want to go? This is Queenston Lewiston.
You went the wrong way.
No, I didn't go. I was wondering how Steve, he left ahead of us, ended up at Queenston Lewiston. This is how, because the GPS took us this way. The other bridge must be jam-packed.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Only a couple of lanes. Nothing But a Dreamer is also going to be headed there. So we have 5 for sure that are going to the Wellwood. And this is right on top of what? The Gold Cup and Saucer. What a mile last night from Sintra. I sent Harry a message after. I said, man, you're making it really difficult to take Sintra to the Gold Cup. That was an impressive kick. He looked like he was going to be 5th or 6th halfway down the lane and then just hit that other gear. That's the difference between a classy, fast horse and just a good horse. That gear that you saw from halfway down the lane to the wire, that is the gear that a world-class horse has. And he might be 9. And it might be, the gas light might be coming on that gear. But every so often, you see why Sintra is considered an extremely classy horse. That was such an impressive mile from him. What else we got? You're not very helpful.
Well, they're not. I don't have.
We're 5 cars from the border.
No, but I don't have any more boys.
I don't need any more on there. Sintra was incredible, and then obviously Patrick the Piranha is heading down. We decided that a while ago. Now both those horses will be taken care of by Jamie Smith and his wife Angie, very, very dear friends of ours. Very good horse people also. Mike McDonald's daughter and Jamie Smith's trained horses forever. So Melissa Beckwith and Mark Beckwith will go down 4 days before the Gold Cup and Saucer for Patrick the Piranha. And I hope Harry goes down. I mean, Harry deserves a break to go down. Harry's not like me or Amy or maybe you.
He's had 1 day off since
he doesn't like the spotlight, right? He doesn't want to be Harry Polton's coming to PEI. That's not Harry. Harry Polton would just like to waltz in there quietly, not say a word. Hey, Jamie, how's the horse? Good. That's fantastic. Look him over and just nobody even knows he's in PEI. That would be Harry Polton's perfect situation. He's just a very quiet man. But man, Sintra is incredible right now. I had a call from James yesterday saying, I might be able to go down Saturday. I said, well, I'll tell you what, you can drive either one of them in the Saturday Gold Cup elimination. Now the Wellwood's next Saturday, so he can't. I said, you tell me who you want to drive, and I'll ask him to put it in Saturday. So it looks like Sintra is going to race this coming Saturday, in the Gold Cup and Saucer elimination in Prince Edward Island. That means Patrick the Piranha will race on Monday. So as I said, just had a ton of luck so far this summer. Completely humbled by the people jumping in and wanting to be a part. And I'll tell you what, there were some names by parts of the bucket. I didn't know they were clients of ours. I didn't see the names before, or people that I knew were in racing that I didn't know were our partners ended up buying into those buckets. And it was just the fact that people from all different levels of knowledge in horse racing wanted to be a part of the stable. It's just mind-boggling to me. It shouldn't be. We do the best we can to give to put forth a great environment for our clients, and I'm just so impressed that so many people want to be a part of what we're doing, and it's a great feeling. So as I said, humbled by the outpouring of support for the buckets. Super impressed with the way the horses have raced this week. I'm going to get to a number of these other horses in just a minute. I'm getting to the border right now, so I'm going to have to cut it a bit short. You're going to have 2 openings this week, not 1. We talked about the Wellwood. We talked about the horses likely heading to the Wellwood and why they were heading to the Wellwood. I think I cut Nothing But a Dreamer short, my explanation for him. 2 grassroots, look great, lots of speed, lots of talent. James is bringing his horse to the Wellwood, and I can't think of even one reason not to bring him So as of right now, we have 5 horses heading to the Wellwood. Brace for Landing, Landing Strip, potentially Carter Michael Dio, Nothing But a Dreamer. Who's the other one I'm missing? Spitfire Overseas, all heading to the Wellwood. So we talked about the Wellwood. We talked about how impressive the horses heading to the Gold Cup were last night. Talked about how humbled I was about everybody's support for the Buckets in Lexington. I'll be back in a minute. We got lots more to talk about. Just getting to the border here. 1 second.